Pablo Picasso said, "Action is the foundation to all success." Welcome to McBain Moments. Alright guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the manor. Make sure you take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, please consider going to Julian McBain, oh boy, I keep doing that. Please consider going to patreon.com/Julian McBain if you want to support my work. Your contributions are appreciated. And a big shout out to Red Kryptonite, who is my patron. Okay, so action is the foundational key to success. You can read all the books, watch all the YouTube videos, write down your goals. You can talk about things, you can plan, but if you don't actually get out there and do something, you're never going to get anywhere. Okay? So, as an example, I'm a fencer. I enjoy fencing, it's my thing. If I don't practice, I will never become one of the best fencers. And becoming recognized for my skill in fencing is one of my goals. So, if I don't go out there and do the actions, if I don't pick up the sword and fight other people and hit that spot on the wall 30 times and teach, I'm never going to become one of those highly skilled fencers, because it's the actions repeated over time that actually get you the results. I could read 100 books on fencing. It's not going to make me a better fencer. I mean, I can get the gist of how the body mechanics are supposed to work and the motions of the blade that I'm supposed to do. But until I go out there and start fighting people, I'm not actually learning anything. And the same holds true to anything. You know, you can learn finance, but if you don't practice it, you're not going to get, your financial health isn't going to get better. You know, if you read all the books on how to budget properly and how to repair credit and how to invest and how to deal with insurance and all of that stuff, like the book that I'm writing right now that you'll be finding on my Patreon here in about a month or so, #shameless self-promotion. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't do the actions it tells you to do. You can read the whole thing and then not do the right things. You know, just because you read it doesn't mean you're actually taking the actions. You're not going to succeed at it unless you do what it says. Figure out where the flaws might be, because nothing's perfect, and then correct for those differences and continue moving forward. It's like Horace said, wisdom is not derived from books alone. Or I'm sorry, wisdom is not wisdom when it's derived from books alone. You can get knowledge from books. You can get knowledge from lectures. You can get knowledge from YouTube videos. But you don't integrate it until you do it. Experience is what it takes. The only way you experience it is by getting out of your comfort zone and going and doing the thing. You know, you can't live life in a box. You know, it's like, well, I read all the things and I see all the things and I want to see all this stuff happen, but it would require me to get out of my comfort zone. Why would I do that? Because you don't get anywhere when you're in your comfort zone. Okay? You don't evolve in a comfort zone. And this has probably been the hardest lesson for me to learn. Okay? I lived for my comfort zone for a very long time. To a certain extent, I still do. You know, I don't go to a whole lot of social events that I'm not required to go to. Of course, with the world being the way it is, the social events I would go to are currently shut down for obvious reasons. But back when social events were a common thing, I would avoid them if I could avoid them. I don't like going to networking events, although I'm going to force myself to start doing so, because that's how you succeed. You know, there's as being a salesperson, part of my job is meeting people. And being an introvert, one of the hardest things for me to do is to meet new people. And so I'm joining a networking group that I did it once when I was younger and I was really uncomfortable. It didn't work out. I was working for a different company. It happens. Okay, fine. But I'm forcing myself to accept the assignment to go and be a member of this group so that I can learn the skills I have yet to learn because I have been too busy being stuck in my box of a comfort zone. I'm taking action. I'm not just reading books on how to be more charismatic. I'm not just watching Charisma on Command on YouTube. And by the way, check that channel out. That shit's good. I'm not just, listening and reading and looking. I'm actually taking the actions to break out of the shell and figure this shit out. Because that's how you succeed. That's how you get better at things. You get out of your comfort zone. You become comfortable being uncomfortable. You take the risk. Because guess what? The greater the risk, the greater the reward. This is what gamblers live on. The adrenaline rush they get for taking big risk. Because if they get the big reward, the payoff is immense. Well, what risk is there truly in coming out of my comfort zone? There isn't one. Okay, I might make a fool of myself, whatever. I'm sure there are people who think I make a fool of myself every day. I make a fool of myself every day on YouTube. But it doesn't matter. I do the thing. I take the risk because that's how I'm going to succeed. What comfort zones have you stuck yourself in that prevent you from succeeding? Comment below. And before you dive into another book, before you dive into another YouTube series, before you buy another course, all of which are good, don't get me wrong. Look yourself in the mirror and say, have I actioned anything? Truly actioned anything from the last one I read or watched? And then make yourself answer. This has been a McBain moment.